Okay, I'm live. Oh my goodness, patience is key. And a frog in my throat. And some gas in the boat. And I don't know. Let's get started. Why don't we? Okay. Patience is key. So this tip is actually being brought to you by one of my favorite shows to watch, Arrow, which is on the CW network, and it's talking about the Green Arrow. Anyway, so I'm catching up on season 6. I was quite a few episodes behind. But the big thing about it is patience is key. So it was talking about patience is key. What do I mean? Patience is key for success, for obtaining the goals that you really want. In an on-demand world, an instant gratification world, as the world is becoming more and more instant gratification, right? We want things now. We have 2-day delivery or same-day delivery, or we have emails and text messages and video chats, seeing people now, and everything's now. And so we want a lot of things now. Why do we want things now? Well, we could go into lots of different reasons, but a lot of times it's because of, one, the internet. Things like, especially Web 2.0 things like the Instagrams and Facebook feeds and Twitters and all this type of stuff, where we can see other people's property or successes, if we want to call them successes, or things that they have that we don't, and we want them now. I mean, this is why credit debt is high, because we go and we get credit cards so we can get things now. We don't save up for the items anymore. We just say, hey, I can just go ahead and go get it. And some of these, even some of these companies and lenders are even providing you, get it now and no interest payments, and you don't have to make your first payment for the first 3 months or 6 months, I've seen. I think I've even seen it longer than that, once or twice, type stuff. It's not helping. But what we need to understand and realize is that when it comes to goals, you can't just, you could always get it now, but the short term, the short-sighted plan, the quick goal, the I want it now type stuff, and not waiting and not working through the process and being a part of the process, but also taking the time to observe the other people and the other things that are going on, helps us learn, but we could actually get something that we think is meaningful, but in the end, it's really not meaningful at all. It's just kind of meaningless. It's the long-term goals, the long road goals, the ones that take months or weeks or years to obtain, to come to fruition. Those are the ones that help us build legacy, help us build empire, help us build and become part of what we really are, what we really want to be. It helps us in those change areas. And patience is what it takes. I watched a movie this weekend, and this movie, and I'm not going to mention this movie because I don't know. You know what? Whatever. It was Deadpool 2. So there could be spoilers. If you haven't seen Deadpool 2, although I don't really think it's going to be a big spoiler. But anyway, one of the characters, we'll do it this way. So one of the characters in the movie decides that they want to start building a team, and they start doing interviews. And one of the people that interviews for it, they're like, well, why do you want to be a part of this team? And the person was like, I don't know. I don't know yet. When I know, it'll come about. So they were going to be a part of the action. They were going to be a part of the process, but they weren't sure why they were doing what they were doing, and they were okay with waiting to find out. They were okay with having patience with finding out. They knew that eventually it would be revealed. And come to find out, eventually, it was all of a sudden an aha moment. It was like, oh, and this is why I'm here. Because we're doing this, and we're here, and this is, and the reason is I was actually, all this other type of stuff. So, see, that wasn't too much of a spoiler. But it was the key to take away from that was patience. We want to be in control of so much that we don't understand if you've got a higher power, if it's God or something else that's a higher power, the universe, if you subscribe to that type of thinking or whatever, you gotta let your part in everything be simply that. Be a part of everything that you're a part of. And your role will become evident, and your role will become what it needs to be in that part. But you got to have patience. Everybody wants to, if you go sign up for a social media account, everybody wants 100,000 followers or subscribers or whatever, but you've not had one. You've not had the time to curate up to that number, so you're not really prepared. Without patience for the preparation, you may not be ready and probably won't be ready. There's been more evidence of that type of stuff. These athletes, let's say, that rise up, they go to high school or college or whatever, and they get drafted, and all of a sudden now they're into big time, and all of a sudden now, instead of hearing about how their practices are going and all this type of stuff is the main stories, what you start hearing is, oh, this person all of a sudden was caught out doing this, or can you believe they're behaving this way or doing these types of things? And it's because they're not prepared to be there yet. It takes time to be prepared, and you have to have patience for that time for preparation. So patience is key. That's how I'm coming around. The short terms are not as valuable as you think. The short terms are not as fulfilling as you want them to be. It's the long term. It's the long road that's always the most gratifying and satisfying. And that is why patience is key. I hope that makes sense. Because for your business and the continuity of your business, you really need to have some long-term goals. Yes, it would be great to be doing $3 million at the get-go or within 6 months, but you're not prepared for that if you've never done the first sale, or you've never done day one of support or service or product or whatever it is that you have. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because I want you to get the most fulfillment out of what it is that you're doing. And in order for you to get the most fulfillment out of what you're doing, you have to have patience. Patience is key. There's no way to replace it. There's no, it's like the miracle pill or the quick pill or whatever in the fitness world. And in fitness, as we're working out, one of the things about working out is, we would all love to just go to the gym and all of a sudden be the image of whatever it is we want to be. We'd like to drop all that weight or build all that muscle, and it doesn't happen overnight. You have to have patience. You have to work the process. You have to figure things out. And as you go along, you will find some things do work, and some things were like, this really isn't doing anything. Maybe I need to stop doing it. And that's all preparation for where you're going to be. You didn't get out of shape overnight. You're not going to get in shape overnight. It's going to take time. So patience is key. I hope you take this, I hope this helps out. I hope this means something to you. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, or if you are listening to it, tweet at me at I am David Vaughan, or Instagram with me at I am David Vaughan. I'd like to hear from you. Let me know. Patience is key. What are you being patient for? Or what have you not been patient for that you wish you would have been more patient for? There's still time. You can fix it. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.